So what you gonna do, brother? We about to run wild with a style like no other. So somebody call Brodus Clay mother and tell her Richard Runz are the men like Ed Lover and Doc Dre. What Scott say, what they hang on every word like it's something that the Rock say. No JR, but they talking wrestling. We bring the noise with the boys, so we Dalton Castling. So masculine, oozing machismo, mutton chop shop, Gran Turismo. No free throws, snarl hoops and heels. It's D-Bron's retirement, give you the super feels. Straight shoot, it's real. Drop a pipe bomb, get ready to bull like the Rock's right arm. So stay calm, tranquilo. I'll go Naito and give him Destino. And we know that you chumps ain't ready for the heartbreak runs and the Cuban Genetti. They drop it heavy, tag team it like Teddy. Long go strong with the heat like Eddie. So steady like when Taker walked the tightrope. Spaz like Taz with the mic and a tight choke. Dirtiest player in the game with the eye poke. 1988 Macho Man on a lot of coke. These other cats are a waste, they boring. Illegitimate sons like Jason Jordan. And Richard Runz never give him respect unless they going on air with a broken frickin' neck. So bounce like Papa Pump's pecs. Every time they get down, they bound to catch wreck. Y'all don't know nada, they the Okadas. You're the Washington Generals, they the Globetrotters. A whole lot of podcasts in the scene, but Richard Runz running wild is the cast of your dreams. So it seems these two is too sweet. Bullet Club pulling up with schemes to delete. So retreat, we steal, we cheat, but I never lie, I swear on these beats. And these two got some styles for you, but what you gonna do when they run wild on you?
Oh, hell yeah. It's the Big Dog Red Titus. And you're listening to the Running Wild podcast. Because if you're trying to run wild, this is the place to do it.
Do you want to let everyone know that you get it? Do you not want to be a Melvin? Well, then listen to the Running Wild podcast. And if you don't, you know what you are.
I'm the last real man, Silas Young. And if you're any kind of man, you'll be listening to the Running Wild podcast.
Hi guys, this is Mandy Leon, and you're listening to the Running Wild podcast.
This is Sam Adonis, El Juro de las Chicas de CMLL, and you are listening to the Running Wild podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Running Wild Podcast. I'm your host, Rich. Alongside me, as always, my co-host, Runz.
Yeah.
To remind you before you get started, we're brought to you in partnership with pwponderings.com, ROHworld.com, LastWordOnProWrestling.com, and we're featured on the Wrestling to the Max network. All right, big week. We had the Superstar Shakeup affecting both brands. We had Ring of Honor's Masters of the Craft. We're going to do a little bit of a preview of the greatest Rumble ever. And, yeah, that's plenty to discuss this week. So, you want to get started with the Shakeup?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so we had a lot of things going back and forth here. I mean, it felt like after Raw, overall, it felt like all of SmackDown was on Raw. And it made it a little bit easier to see what they were going to do moving forward in terms of SmackDown. I didn't feel like there were any real surprises the next night after Raw. Like, I felt like because of all the movements made the first night, like the second night, a lot of things just fell into place.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that there weren't any real surprises. Yeah, like first, I mean, we'll just talk about Raw because, you know, that happened first. But yeah, after Raw, there was nobody left on SmackDown. It was like AJ, Shinsuke, Bryan. You knew Miz was going. You know, the girls and a couple tag teams. That was it. So you knew that SmackDown had to make some moves, but you didn't really know what. So, you know, Raw got the United States champion, Jinder, and then he lost to Hardy. So you didn't think Seth was going, you know, you kind of felt like Hardy was going to end up going back to SmackDown. And, you know, that's what happened, which is fine. Yeah, exactly. It gets him away from Matt and, you know, all the Woken stuff. And, you know, they can come back to that whenever they feel like it on cross-branded stuff. But, you know, Owens and Zayn got their jobs back thanks to Stephanie, which I really enjoyed that whole segment.
I thought it was a little too easy, don't you?
Why?
I don't know. Maybe
they wrestled last week. They had a great match, and you know, honestly, after they had that match in real life, those two guys would have been hired. You know, like, oh, these guys are awesome. Like, let's forget about it. Let's just give them a job. And I think that it made a lot of sense for Stephanie to undermine Angle, hire two guys who piss him off already, and, two guys who will actually help Raw.
Fair. I mean, I guess I was just still holding out hope because Pro Wrestling Tees, whatever, had that. It seemed like a lot of sites or a couple sites had sales on El Generico stuff, and I was like, oh, maybe they're emptying it because finally it's going to show up at WWE. They're going to have to sneak on to Raw that way or something, and
maybe they're just geniuses. Then. Oh, here, these two guys are quote unquote fired. Here's their merchandise. Now buy thousands of them.
I fell for it.
Yeah, of course. You had Dolph come over to Raw, and at first it's like, okay, cool, Dolph, whatever. Who came out to mess with him?
I'm having a problem now because I can only see his very new large bodyguard standing over the guy. I'm completely blanking out.
Slater and Rhino.
Yeah.
Right. So Slater and Rhino come out, and then he's like, "Oh no, I didn't. Maybe I don't even know. I could be wrong." He says, "I didn't come alone." And then Drew McIntyre shows up, which is really cool. I feel like it might have made more sense to keep him on SmackDown or bring McIntyre to SmackDown because of all of the other shakeups that happened. But him and Dolph will be a cool tag team, considering Raw got rid of most of their tag team division Tuesday night. So, them, Hardys and Wyatt, should be a cool two to lead the division for a little bit. And, Drew and Dolph's finisher on Monday just, works out perfectly. The zigzag and the Claymore. Mm-hmm. And it looked awesome.
Yeah, no, those guys together are awesome. I mean, I just can't get over how, when you talk, I like a lot of the smaller wrestlers. I'm a big fan of them. But, man, just McIntyre, it's crazy because the WWE ring is so much bigger than the Evolve ring. And McIntyre still is a beast. That dude is huge.
Everything, the arenas, the other guys, everything is bigger. And, yeah, he still towers over everyone.
It makes Dolph instantly more interesting. He's I guess they're going to be a tag team. It almost seemed like he was bodyguard type thing, but you're probably right. It's probably a tag team and not just Dolph being pushed with McIntyre being his bodyguard. Although I would kind of like to see McIntyre just wear a leather glove and just be like Diesel in the background. Did you?
What?
I listened to Pritchard and talking about Michaels in '95, and that literally they would just tell Diesel stand there and just stroke your wrist, just stroke your fist, and he would just sit there and literally he wouldn't talk. All he would do is just play with his fist while Shawn was interviewing people. I kind of want to see McIntyre do that, but really I want to see McIntyre yell. I'm glad he's a heel. There's nothing better than McIntyre yelling, and I just can't wait to hear him do it every Monday night.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. And, looking at the list, it kind of seems like SmackDown might have actually came out even better. But so then you had Corbin, and the last guy was Bobby Roode. So, I mean, on the big names, that was pretty solid. And then kind of off air, you got Zack Ryder. You got Breezango on air, and they got a big win over the Bar. That was cool. Natty, yeah, great. The Ascension, Mojo, Mike Kanellis, which, I don't understand why he didn't go through NXT. I guess because of Maria. They just put him right on SmackDown. But man, hopefully that guy gets some time after everything he's been through this year and come out on top. And we also got Gable.
Yeah, I wish they would just announce everything online, but on the show. I just think some of it's a little weird. They could just fit stuff in. I like the vignette things. I don't see the need really. I feel bad for the dudes who just get traded on Twitter. I know that's how, I guess sports work. Sometimes
how do you feel if How do you feel if you're Zack Ryder and someone is like, "Yo, You're going to Raw. Put it on your Twitter. Thanks.
Yeah, I just
like,
don't...
oh, wait, what? I can't even get on the show.
Like, no, man, 3 hours. We only have 3 hours this
Yeah.
week.
Nah, sorry, broski. We didn't have enough time.
Like, just something as simple as, like, he is walking into the locker room with his bag and, like, sees Hawkins. It's like, what's up, broski?
Right.
I'm back.
That's it.
Like,
Yeah.
that's all you got to do. I don't really even understand like why it's so difficult. Just have the guys walk in. Have somebody walk into a locker room and, like, they're there, you know? Oh,
And they
welcome,
have,
guys.
like, the WWE.com videos, but, like, you could, at least on the show, you could say Zack Ryder is on the move to Raw, and then, like, check out WWE.com for the, you know, his reaction. Something.
Yeah, I can't.
Just acknowledge it.
Yeah, I try to watch that stuff, and if it comes up along my Twitter feed, I'll take a look at it, but I don't really, or, you know, if I'm like starting Raw a little bit late and I just want to get a little bit of a catch up and see the important clips, like I'll go to their feed. But I'm not going to WWE.com to go check out the video of the guy who you didn't think was important enough to put on the show.
Right.
So that's something that's frustrating.
Post pictures like in Disney World when Monday Night Raw is going on and shit. So clearly you're not like around anywhere. So you know that's unfortunate. But so then nothing really happened on Raw, right? Am I making that up? Like we got all the Shakeup stuff, but
Roman called Samoa Joe fat. Am I crazy? Did that happen this week?
Oh yeah, sure. We got a good Joe Roman promo, which hopefully they let Joe beat him and
well,
I mean, but we'll see what happens at the Greatest Rumble.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big deal. I'm starting to feel like things are gonna happen there, and we'll talk about that later.
Okay. So now we move on to SmackDown. So SmackDown, we knew got The Miz, who wasn't there because he was home. Jeff Hardy, which we discussed. Absolution. Raw also got the Riot Squad, so they just switched, which, you know, makes perfect sense. Paige is on SmackDown, that's fine. Then, you know, this one was surprising to me and also absolutely awesome. Samoa Joe got moved to SmackDown.
Yeah, that was the first big shocker for me.
Right, and, you know, he just had this awesome stuff on Raw with Roman, and they have all that going on. So you didn't think he was going anywhere, but, you know, for that guy to be on the roster with AJ, Shinsuke, and Bryan, and actually have time to cut promos and have matches, man, I'm really excited for that because Samoa Joe is amazing, and you know I think, man, SmackDown is a great place for him to be one of the top two guys, and you know roll with that. You know it should be a lot of fun.
No, yeah, man, Samoa, like that was a huge get. Obviously, he's worked well with AJ before. I mean, just the possibilities down there. This at the end of Raw, I felt like, oh, who's left on SmackDown?
Him and Bryan, like they had to have wrestled in ROH, you know. So
yeah, no, it's imagine a triple threat with those. I would please WWE. All I want is a triple threat with those three.
You could have a 4-way with them four. That's it.
I want a like ECW style triple threat where it's elimination.
Well, I mean, just TNA style. Daniels, AJ, Joe. Just Bryan is playing the role of Christopher Daniels, which I mean, you know, he fills those shoes and then some. So, man, the sky's the limit for Samoa Joe and SmackDown with this move.
Yeah, I mean, I think I always say this, it always seems to be somebody. But like right now, if Sammy and Kevin were on SmackDown, and I understand why they're not, but if they were, I don't know if I'd watch Raw.
Man, yeah, SmackDown really has a lot of the like fresher, more indie guys, and you know it's kind of cool to watch. Then we got Sanity coming up to NXT, which is good. You know, that's another tag team for SmackDown, and they get Eric Young, who could be a mid card, you know, upper card guy, depending on how he's pushed. And again, you know, there's time for these guys on SmackDown.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, I'll be honest with you, this might not be very popular, but I don't love them. I think they're good. You know, they need the kind of, you know, the competition that they'll bring. It'll be good for the tag team division. Young's pretty good. I'm just not a huge fan of them, but it's not to say that I don't understand the value that they bring to SmackDown.
Right, EY he's a professional.
Yeah.
And Killian Dane is definitely someone they have some decent plans for down the line. So, you know, things to watch for there. Then we got Big Cass coming in, and as we would see right here and later on in the night, he would attack Bryan. And he would be the guy standing tall to end this new SmackDown era. Big Cass obviously is a guy that, you know, they love. And it was really unfortunate when he went down. He definitely missed out on some big things. But now he came back in a really big way, attacking Bryan. That seems to be where they'll go right now. No better of a sympathy than Bryan.
Yeah.
For Cass to get and the heat that he'll get from that. So, I mean, I really enjoyed his return. And, you know, again, it's a fresh face. It's a big guy. He can move. He can do some things. He's solid on the mic, you know, decent enough. But, yeah, so this should also be a fun run to see what they do with him.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if they're going to obviously have this feud first. I would think that in the end Bryan wins out, but I don't know. I mean,
right.
It'll be...
Right, at first Cass probably has to smash him, right? But
yeah, because it's really interesting to see what they're going to do with Bryan. You know, is he there? Right. Is he there in more of a... I don't want to say Jericho, because Jericho's not full-time. But, you know, is he there to put guys over, you know, and win some matches, but ultimately lose a feud or two because, you know, he's putting guys over? Or is he there to be, you know, elevated himself and also part of the future title picture or something?
It's interesting because, you know, they have to be hesitant, right? I mean, what if they put the title on him and then, you know, knock on wood, God forbid, nobody wants to see, he gets a concussion or something, and then that's kind of it. You know, so you never know how far they're willing to take that. You know, he's getting tested after every match. You never know if something pops up. You know, we hope not, and you know, hopefully he's able to get back in that title picture and do some fun things, because I think that would just be great. But you know, however they're going to use him, it's going to be a lot of fun. So, you know, this could be a cool feud, and yeah, like you said, you know, maybe Cass goes over early, and then Bryan gets the big win down the line. After Cass, we got Asuka, which is a great move. Again, Raw has a lot of women already. Now they have Rousey. They didn't need Asuka there. SmackDown, now she has the stuff with Charlotte. Whether they're going to have, you know, some mutual respect or something will happen going forward, we'll see. But you know, I think that's cool that they're on the same show. And now there's Becky, Naomi's around, so you know, I think that's the right place for her.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that I ended up thinking that they might have, you know, switched things, and I was hoping that Charlotte was going to go to Raw because of the Asuka stuff, but actually they went the other way, so I'm fine with it. I just want to see if Rousey's really going to be on Raw consistently, because...
I mean, she has been so far.
Yeah, I mean, but I just wonder if she's going to be wrestling a lot. I mean, you got Nia, Alexa...
Well, now it seems like she's going to have a little tag with Natty and the Riot Squad. I don't know who jumped Natty. So, you know, maybe she'll have a match with that, or, you know, she doesn't need to be in the ring every week, but her cutting a promo, her doing something, you know, in front, and you know, so it's been fun to see that, because it's, you know, she's a big star, so it's cool to see her, you know, weekly.
Yeah, no, definitely. I still feel sometimes, I mean, I guess the divisions are big enough now where it's not that big of a problem, but there's still a part of me that would like the division together.
Yeah, but I mean, they have a lot of women now, and you know, I think it would be fine, but 2 divisions, it means 2 titles and 2 definite feuds that matter. And then, having Rousey and Asuka and Charlotte not as the champion, that gives you 2 or 3 other feuds that absolutely matter. So I think it's smart to put Asuka and Charlotte away from Rousey, because if they're on the same brand, people are going to be asking for that match every week. But this way, it's something that you keep them separate, and, WrestleMania or whenever it is, that's, you have them cross paths on, on the co-branded pay-per-view, or, where they walk past each other or something like that, and, whatever. Then we got 2 big tag team moves. You got the Club, which, was pretty much dead on Raw, and you got the Bar. Well, I'll just point out for a reference, in case anyone listened to last week and now is listening again. Pretty much nailed our 5-person mock draft. I had the Bar, I had the Club, I had Asuka, I had Almas, I had the Miz. So, while we got some things wrong or said some things that didn't exactly come true, for the most part, we were pretty accurate. Yeah,
I forgot. What did I get? I mean, I called Root during the show. I don't know if I did Root earlier. I called Dolph, which is crazy. I didn't. Yeah. I mean, obviously it didn't go the way I thought, but I was like, oh, like when Dolph came out, I was like, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, with the Club and possibly AJ, right? But either way, the Club, the Bar, New Day, Usos, Bludgeon Brothers. That's pretty loaded division right there.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is I didn't think they were going to pull the Club away from Finn.
Yeah, I don't know what that means for Finn. I'm surprised he didn't get moved to SmackDown with, as much as going on Raw, but I guess he's a big part of it, and, you can't take everyone away from them.
Did you hear on Monday night, I believe it was Corey Graves, he said,
Yep.
yeah, Bullet Club is for everybody.
Yep.
God damn it, Corey! You've been doing so well.
Yep.
Shine my shoes.
That's it. Corey Graves is fired tomorrow.
It's
been a good run.
Imagine the Young Bucks sued them for saying their name for saying Bullet Club or something like that. That'd be crazy.
That'd be hilarious.
All because of Corey Graves, and then Corey goes to All In and he's like, "It was me all along, Austin." I don't know why he would say Austin, but I did it for The Rock.
So then we got the much awaited Cien Almas announcement, and that's, I mean, add him, right in that mix for me, at least, with Joe, Bryan, AJ, Nakamura, and I can't wait to see what they do with him on SmackDown.
That guy is so talented. I'm so happy that Zelina came up with him. I'd seen the NXT stuff, tapings, whatever, that she had wrestled on it. So it made me a little nervous that maybe she was going to stay on NXT and she wasn't going with him. And I was really excited to see that she went up with him. I mean, I don't know if he works with... Yeah.
He can't... I'm not sure how good of English he speaks. So, she's necessary.
Oh, 1,000%. He's going to be so good. I'm just so... And I love that he doesn't... I love that she doesn't really translate for him. He'll just say shit.
Right. She just speaks.
And I really understand, I understand both of it. I understand what he's saying, so it's so much better than when Del Rio or... I mean, Ray's a good guy, so he wants him to understand. But I just hated that repetition stuff, Estoy aquí, I am here. I don't like the back and forth stuff. So I like it better this way. I think she's proof. She's really good. Let's be clear. But I think her, Stokely Hathaway, I think they're proof that, man, why don't we bring back more managers?
And I don't necessarily want to see more, because then I think it takes away from the ones that are there. but I think they need to be used in a more prevalent spot. Heyman, is amazing, but if he was with someone else, it would be so much better. But yeah, Zelina, Stokely, they make it a lot better or a lot easier to hate that person. And the way that it played out on NXT, where she helped him the entire time, and then just one time too many, and the perfect ending with the Black Mass, and it was just, it was absolutely brilliant. That entire run there, it was amazing. I can't wait to, see him on SmackDown. But, and then our last announcement, we didn't get any big main event, appearance or anything like that. Instead, we got a backstage segment with R-Truth.
Nice. I'm so happy.
Yeah,
so happy he's back.
Fantastic. I'm so glad he's on SmackDown. Probably will never see him again. We joked a couple times during this stuff that, like, they just remembered they had someone on the roster, like Sin Cara. I think they used Primo back there. Like, oh, shit, this guy's here still.
So wait. Did you say Primo?
Graphics, Yep.
I missed that. I
he
literally,
was like in a dark match or something like that.
Literally thought he was not with the company anymore.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They looked at this, like, they sent a mass email to, like, Raw roster, SmackDown roster, like, everyone be at the show. And they're looking at, like, the names, and they're like, oh, shit, this guy still works here. Yeah, let's use him. That's 100% what happened, and no one can convince me otherwise.
They should just do something with R-Truth where, like, he snaps and he feels like he deserves to be champion.
And he has, like, something named Little Jimmy, like, following him around. Or...
I mean, that would be fantastic. I love R-Truth. Like, he's one of those dudes that, for me, could just have the same entrance, the same type of match, lose every single time, and I would still get hyped every time he came out.
Yep.
Every time. Like, there are certain dudes that, like, the New Day don't ever change. Like, there's really no reason. Like, just keep doing stupid, silly stuff. It'll work forever.
Yeah, and I mean, they are three pretty funny guys if you watch them on Ride Along or Up, Down, Down or anything like that. They're pretty funny. So, just let them be them, and that's all you really need.
By the way, the most terrible thing, the Bars video. Look, SmackDown's got to stop doing the stupid, like, block printing, like, of what the guys are saying on the screen. That is the most atrocious thing ever.
It's weird, but I don't hate it. I didn't like the way that they just announced. Well, I can't say that because I asked for Raw to do the same thing, but they just announced like 5 draft picks in a matter of a second. Like, oh, the Bar's here, oh, the Club's here, oh, this guy's here, this guy's here, this guy's here. Which I think that's what we wanted Raw to do. However, like, spread it out a little bit. I don't think you need to do it 5 in a row. I think you could have, just space it out a tiny bit better.
Let me ask a real question. In kayfabe, right? Who's editing the videos? Like, who is putting the words over what the guys are saying? Who's doing it? In kayfabe. In kayfabe. Like, they all have personal people who just go back and do.
I don't know what you mean by, like, in kayfabe.
Like, what I'm trying to say is, like, why would
everyone knows that there's a cameraman? Like, there is no.
So now there's also a dude who sits there and
like,
puts words
there's a
over
cameraman.
them.
Yeah, there's a cameraman, and there's a production company that works for this company. I don't know. What are you talking about?
Do the guys tell them
why
do the guys tell them which words?
Like, what are you talking about?
I'm trying to figure out, like, do the guys tell them which words to put over? Like, this in kayfabe, I'm trying to figure out, like, oh, I want you to highlight this part of what we say, but not this.
WWE, that's who makes the like, there is no, like, kayfabe secret to this.
All right, well then stop it. It's just
that's what I'm trying to get you to do.
All right.
What are you talking about?
All right, fine. We'll move on from
kayfabe
this.
reason behind the words next to the promo? Are you kidding me right now?
Let's go. Let's cover before we cover Masters of Craft. I guess just kind of put put a pin on WWE. The sad passing of Bruno Sammartino. Like for you and I mean, definitely for me.
Definitely for me.
Yeah, I mean, for you, it's weird. I mean, there's a 6-year gap here, so I can understand why. Like for you, of him, but like he's nothing.
Yeah, never saw. Like I was too young to.
Like I was really too young, but I just would go to the video store, which is something that.
Right.
By the time you were like able to like, I mean,
right.
You didn't really have that.
My video store was like the old, WrestleMania and that. It wasn't that kind of like MSG home video.
Yeah, mine was like this really weird place down like 5 blocks from my house. Would had like the craziest videos, and after I watched all the WWE stuff, I started getting like older stuff and weird stuff. So I started watching Sammartino matches. I mean, were the cool, or I don't know if it's cool, but you and I were at Sammartino's induction in 2013 at Madison Square Garden, and my grandfather had been going to Madison Square Garden supporting his favorite wrestler, Bruno Sammartino, right before he won the championship. I mean, my grandfather died, I think it's 3 months at Madison Square Garden, 3 months before Sammartino won the championship. And that's where he used to go. So it's just kind of this weird thing where, my dad does not like wrestling, other than like the model. He thinks he's funny, but like my dad he knows about wrestling because of me and my brother. He does not want to know anything.
Like our dads are like pretty manly guys, and their like favorite wrestlers were the model and Alex, right?
That is
really... It's funny, like my dad just loved Alex Wright because it was like, oh, look at this guy. Like, Rey Mysterio was his boy, but Alex Wright always entertained him.
And growing up, the thing for me, which is always funny, was I would talk to like my dad's friends or like other people, older people, and then oh, do you like wrestling? And they're like, oh, and then I always heard the same thing, oh yeah, like Bruno Sammartino and like Pedro Morales, and they would bring up all these guys, and I'd look at them and I'd be like, what? No, I'm talking about like Macho Man and like Jake Roberts, dude. But that got me to go watch this stuff. And listen, it's
and you see, I think the big difference is like that 6-year gap, right? Like when I was watching, there was never a mention of Bruno Sammartino.
Oh,
right?
no.
Like, he wasn't, him and Vince weren't on good terms. So, there was no, like, this guy, there was no, like, Hulk Hogan. He wasn't at WrestleManias. He wasn't, showing up doing backstage stuff. Like, he wasn't around. So, when I would watch, like, the old WrestleManias or something like that, and I would see a guy like that, I would be like, oh, okay, who the hell is this guy? Like, it's just, here's a hairy guy in trunks, and that's 95% of the roster. I didn't know any better until, obviously, later on in life. And, you grow to understand the appreciation for him and what he did and how much of an icon and how much respect he had in the business. And I think that's just evident by literally everyone, tweeting or posting something about him. So, that was really cool, and also obviously, it's a sad reason, but the guy was a legend in every single way, and I can't really imagine a much better life. Chilling with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know. He must have had some good times.
I couldn't have said it better myself. And speaking of more bad news, I just got a reminder that I needed to bring this up. In my household, this was taken. We took this very hard. John Cena and Nikki Bella have decided to split ways. I won't lie to you, that this might be the most affected I am by a breakup since I read Macho Man's letter that him and Liz were breaking up in WWF magazine. This is shocking. I mean,
I guess that is a pretty good analogy, right? Macho and Liz also got actually married.
Yeah, I mean, they were so close.
Also engaged, married in the ring.
They both got
Cena
engaged. Yeah.
and Nikki didn't quite go as far. When you hear, some of the hearsay, and obviously nothing is ever going to come out from Cena's side. But so obviously, like, you read these sources and like, oh well, clearly this is Nikki friend. But yeah, a month before the wedding, that's rough. So like,
imagine this is a
think
work, man. Imagine this is like T
anyone's
versus
eyes,
back.
I don't know that he is not the ultimate heel. I don't think there's any other way to put that. In 99% of people, he is just like, wow, this guy, what a dick.
I'm thinking, like, I could just hear Vince, God damn it, John, couldn't we break you guys up on TV? Like,
I'm telling you, man, I can't wait till he comes out and cuts the promo. Like, I never loved Nikki. That was all for the show.
that would be the greatest heel turn of all time. And I'm not going to lie to you, now that we can look back at the relationship and make the parallel with Macho Man, let's be honest here. Macho Man...
Let's hope it goes no further than this thing.
Oh, no further. But Macho Man's proposal was so much more like compelling than John Cena's.
Oh, well, of course, yeah.
John Cena didn't stutter at all.
Like, I don't know, man. You read that, like, Brie is happy, and I don't know. It's like, how are these people ever going to be in the same room? Like, they work for the same company, kind of. And,
the total...
Yeah, it's rough.
Just imagine, though, it is work, man. Just imagine. It's like all like they're building towards the season finale of Total Divas where he comes back and they do get married, but in Vegas because he doesn't want a big wedding. They just drive through.
She's asleep, like.
I mean that. You know what would be funny if it was the opposite.
Right. If she drugged him and got married. Like, oh, John, I'm pregnant. Like, that would be hilarious. He just freaks out.
I would lose my mind.
Oh, that would be, what? No way. Like, you see him in the back. He's like, oh, yeah, can I speak to Snitsky, please?
I'm having too much fun with this. All right.
I mean, I guess... But we might as well. You want to talk about Master of the Craft quick, or do you want to talk about the Rumble and then finish up with Master of the Craft?
Let's do Masters because I just pulled it up, and then we'll do Greatest Royal Rumble to lead into next week. Just a programming note: next week we're actually we still might be able to have the episode out Saturday morning, as we normally do. But we want to watch the Greatest Rumble, and we're working. So if we get to watch it before we usually record, or before we have time to record Friday night, we'll have it out Saturday morning. If not, we'll have it out Sunday. All right. So I had some streaming problems with Masters of the Craft. They started late.
This has been a trend, an annoying one.
Yeah, it's something I've heard in the past about Ring of Honor shows, and they apologized and everything, but actually, they didn't even say anything. Time out.
Yeah, they did. They sent an email.
Well, they didn't say
apologizing,
anything.
Giving like $40.
Oh yeah, well that was for the Supercard, not for Masters.
Right. No. Oh well, no. Right. I'm just saying.
Masters of the Craft. They didn't even have the decency to tweet out that they were running late. Like, just, right. Hey, I've seen other people do that. We're running late.
And that was like one of my biggest issues with, Flow Slam and WWN. Like, it just never ran right. And, we're spoiled by having the network as the first thing that we ever had of this nature, Like, nothing was ever going to be as good as that or as clean and crisp as that is run,
I mean...
but... It's a work in progress. This was the third or fourth show that they've run. Once it started for me, I didn't have any problems after that. The quality was fine. It ran smooth. Everything else was normal. So whether it's just starting the stream up earlier, or maybe that's why WWE starts their shows at 5:00. Maybe it takes time to get everyone in the stream, or I don't know.
CMLL gets that stuff right on YouTube every time. There's never a problem.
That's because there's 6 people watching it live.
Yep.
Not, a couple 100,000 or whatever the hell it is Ring of Honor gets. I don't
All right. I mean,
so
more than 6 people, buddy. Okay.
yeah, sorry, 7. So I don't know. I understand the technology issues of that, but hopefully at some point they figure that out. They get it corrected, whatever they needed to do, and that's that.
All right, so they started 19 minutes early. So what I missed was, and I haven't gotten back to watch it, there was the Dogs versus Coast to Coast. Coast to Coast defeated the Dogs to start the show.
Nope, I wasn't on the show. No point.
Then you had ROH TV title match, Silas Young versus Cheeseburger.
Might as well have not been on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I liked it. That was like the pre-show.
No, I don't know. I don't think it was. I mean, unless they could have said something. But they had announced that.
When you look at it might as well.
Yeah. I mean, look, Young Cheeseburger was what it is. You know that Young was going to retain, and then Cheeseburger was going to, hit some showtays and maybe almost win.
Stuff.
I
could not care any bit less that Bully Ray is now back to being a wrestler.
Yeah. I'm not. Something has to. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's got to be to put someone over. I wonder if it's Gordon. I don't feel like it's really Cheeseburger. I feel like he's just the first guy he's picking on. So
someone's gonna come to him.
I think it's Gordon because Gordon ran out to help him again. So they almost hurt him. But they got double clotheslined.
Gordon, my God, man. I don't know.
So that was what it was. It was a good little match. Nothing super exciting. Nothing. It wasn't bad. It just was what it was. I kind of expected that. Then you had Sumi Sakai, Tennille Dashwood, and Deonna Purrazzo. They faced off. Wait, I'm sorry. I wrote this up incorrectly. There's a six woman. So it's Sumi Sakai, Tennille Dashwood, and Deonna Purrazzo versus Kelly Klein, Madison Rain, I believe, and Jenny Rose. This was fine. By the way, so this is almost completely unrelated, but Brandy actually had Bernard, the business bear come out. Bernard the business bear, although maybe he's not super interesting to you, I will say in Spanish, instead of being, obviously it's not business bear, but they translate it, and it's oso de negocios. And I just love the rhyming aspect. He's oso de negocio, and I just kind of wish they would go with that and call him that from now on. Bernard el oso de negocio. Just a hint.
It'll be, Sam Miller character in a couple months.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen. They're not going to change it for me. But I'm telling you.
It could be you. You could be el oso de negocio. It could be you.
Listen, the only thing that I would rather be than that, as you know, I've said it before, next Friday I'm very excited because there's going to be I've never seen a women's hair versus hair match, but the job I want is the barber. The barber for CMLL looks like he's 95.
You could be el oso de negocios, the barber. Just be a barber in the
Come on, dude. You're going a little too far here. I don't even think I could handle that.
Who also does commentary.
Oh.
Like when it's time for someone to get their hair cut, like he just stands up from the desk, takes off the headphones, looks in the ring, shakes people's heads.
Please, this fantasy booking of my life cannot continue because my life can't measure up to being a bear whose job it is to cut people's hair in CMLL. Like, that would just be the greatest thing ever.
Okay. Yeah, man. I think you're selling yourself a little bit short.
Right. I'm so distracted right now, I don't even know what we were doing. Oh, we were talking about Masters of the Craft. So I thought the the 6-1 was fine.
Yeah, sure. And after this is where the show really picked up. You got to remember, this is kind of like a house show. This is just Ring of Honor on tour, putting on a show. And I thought, from this point forward, I really enjoyed everything a lot, actually.
Yeah, I didn't think that. I actually thought that they did a really good job here. It made like the first half of the show was fine, and it is like, how do I say it?
They built the card.
Yeah, I watched all of these matches, beforehand. I mean, I've watched, like all these shows last year when they weren't on the VOD service. I was watching them, so I'm like, this isn't anything like I didn't start watching and go like, oh, this is terrible. I was like, okay, this is the beginning to one of their shows. I mean, it didn't.
Right.
I didn't have any problem with it.
And it's kind of funny, and I guess this is kind of like something you've been saying since you started doing it, is that like on these smaller VODs, you felt like they had some story development in every single match. As much as I don't care for the Bully Ray stuff, at least it's something. It's a story that's building. So whether it was that or Gresham challenging Lethal, the stuff with Taven and Cody, you felt like you had something.
Yeah, I think that last year was getting better. The year before, it was really tough to watch the VODs because they were literally just house shows. There was almost never anything that happened that was of importance that connected to TV or the pay-per-view. So now it's different in that way, and I appreciate that. But yeah, this 6-man, that's kind of, this really took the show to another level. What did you think overall of the match?
What match was that?
The next match, sorry, not the 6-man, the 8-way, the 8-man tag, Daniels, Kazarian, Sky, Taylor versus the Bucks, Page and Flip.
I mean, that was fine. It was what it was. It was, it was the Bucks, it was Flip, and it was SoCal. So you knew what you were getting. You got all of it. It was a really fun 8-man tag. If you've ever seen any of their big tag matches, you know exactly what to expect. But, it was a lot of fun. There is a lot of history between the two teams, and you had the Adam Page and Flip stuff going on. So no matter what, you had some being the elite, story going on there that was interesting.
Yeah, agreed. Then there was a quick, I don't remember this being announced beforehand, but apparently due to a match that was taped for Future of Honor, Matt Fitchett and Davey Vega, they're known as the besties in the world on the independent circuit. Yeah. They got a brief shot at the Briscoes title.
Very brief.
I don't, they have those matches, do they call them proving ground matches? I believe?
Right.
Yeah. Where, if the guys win, then they get a title shot. I don't understand why you just don't do that. It's if I were a tag team in the division, kayfabe, right? This is kayfabe. I'm in the division.
I'm sorry, I don't know what that means.
I'm regularly on the cards, okay? I'm not getting a shot, but this team that beat another team from Future of Honor qualifies to get a title shot before me?
Do you want to go out there to get squashed?
What do you mean?
Like, they didn't stand a chance. So would you want to be in that spot?
Oh, no. Well, no, but what I'm saying is, like, why would they get a title shot before me? Or me and my partner?
Why not?
All right, fair enough. Still pisses. This is the type of stuff
I
that
get you,
make me angry in the car ride home. Like,
it's
God,
just one of those things.
Goddamn Matt Fitch and Dave Vega. Who do they think they are getting a title shot before us?
Well, maybe people are mad at that, and maybe they use it on another VOD later on, yeah.
This is the week where I decide that I need to pick up small, tiny things about the wrestling that we watch and argue. I'm not going to argue the fact that somebody can fall into a lake, get out, and be different. That I'll accept. But
this is what like my kids do in school when we're trying to explain like evolution and survival of the fittest. And they're like, oh no, but like snakes don't eat that. Like, no, that's not the point. The point is that they eat something and then get eaten by something else. That's just how it works. Yeah.
All right. So then we had what I thought was, for me, the match of the night, Gresham versus Lethal.
Jay Lethal from 10 years ago.
Just amazing. This is ROH wrestling for me.
Right, and it was a lot of fun. However, I just don't care about Gresham yet. He's just a dude. He just wrestles.
All right. Fair, and I get that.
And, he's good. I cannot question that. However, there is no charisma yet. There is no character, behind it yet. And once that clicks, the same with Lethal. Lethal was just a guy. And then in TNA, he had the Black Machismo stuff. And, I don't know, he started to loosen up, started to get some more mic time. And, that's what it takes. It takes getting in reps. And it takes being in that spotlight. I enjoyed the promo afterwards, challenging Lethal again. And so, while I'm excited to see that again, I don't want to see it anytime soon. I want Lethal to take the kind of I beat you, you almost got me, but I beat you, now earn your way back up to me kind of a thing.
All right.
And let Gresham have some matches, have some good lower card feuds. Maybe he beats Silas, something like that. And then come back to Lethal, where when he gets the win, I'm going to feel like, okay, now he's ready to take the next step.
I agree. I wouldn't mind seeing, after their next match, I wouldn't mind seeing them tagging for a while, just because they're similar. I think that would be kind of cool, too.
Such a waste of Lethal, though.
Yeah, I get it. But it would really elevate Gresham, and I think they would work well together.
Yeah,
think about their double team moves, man.
And this is part of, my thing with Lethal, going to WWE at some point, is, what's left for him in Ring of Honor? He's kind of fought everyone. He's kind of done everything. So maybe a tag team run wouldn't be the worst thing. And, it would create some interest in Gresham, and it would create, some even easier, more in-depth storylines for, down the line.
I mean, he did say himself that he... when he was teaming with Tanahashi, the one belt he has never gotten is the tag team.
Right. So, yeah, it could work out.
And then you had Matt Taven versus Cody in a First Blood match. Essentially, towards the end, Cody goes to punch Matt Taven. Matt Taven blocks it with the title, his CMLL title, and Cody starts bleeding from the hand, but you don't see it right away, and then he attacks Taven and starts punching him, and it seems like it's Taven bleeding, but the ref realizes that it's actually Cody, and Taven wins the match. Also, there was a part where there was an axe, and Vinny Marseglia almost chopped Cody, but luckily Brandy came out and chased him away.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Taven getting the win here. I feel like it just helps everyone. He gets one over on the Ultimate, kind of a douche right now. And, you give Cody something else to complain about. And it's cool to see, Taven get that shine and get that win. So, this was another, these two matches were the epitome of this show to me. They're matches that you might have seen on a Supercard of Honor or Glory by Honor, one of those Final Battle, etc. But they felt like matches that were building up to future things and building up guys like Gresham and Taven for their eventual run. And I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, listen, you know that I'm a huge fan of Taven over here. Been for quite a while. Just really loving that he's kind of being elevated now. I think it makes a lot of sense. So I just want to continue to see stuff like this. He's an easy challenger for that title, whether I'm not...
Oh, yeah. He's got to be the next guy.
Yeah, he's money. I mean, he is such a great heel that would do anything to win. He's got his cronies that help him out with freaking crazy weapons. I mean,
right.
there are literally so many reasons.
Yeah, I mean, he does a really good job, and you know, it's been a lot of fun seeing really how far he's come. So that's enjoyable, and you know, these were two of the matches that I really, like I said, just you know, emphasized what this show was, and you know, it really helped, you know, give me a taste of the other shows that Ring of Honor puts on, and what to expect going down the line, and with HonorClub.
It's I'm not really, no matter how much I pick it apart, it's really fun for me to now be able to talk to people about the shows.
Right, because you couldn't do that.
Yeah, and like I'm really not trying to disrespect Ring of Honor, like at all. It's just the truth is people weren't buying all those VODs. Like there was almost nobody. You know, I actually like that I can write my review and then go check out somebody else's review. There were a couple times where I was stuck on something, and a couple years ago, I'd like try to find a review, and it would end up just being mine. I was like, one time I started reading one, I was like, oh, this is interesting. It was actually in Spanish, and it was someone who had just taken mine and put it on a Spanish site, hit like Google Translate. So I was like, okay, interesting, because I was like, I like this guy's style of writing, and then I realized it was mine. So, you know, no matter what is going on, as long as they fix the streaming stuff and make sure that that's solid going forward, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
All right, and now what you guys have all been waiting for, Defy or Deny. The idea is that if somebody else, it's an elimination, if somebody else wins, other than the champion, they get a title shot. If the champion, the last person who's left with him gets, you know, he pins them and wins, then that person can never challenge for the title again. You had Punishment Martinez, Beer City Bruiser, Skrull, and Dalton Castle. I actually thought the Castle was going to win and like prevent someone from getting a title shot. I thought maybe it could be Skrull and like there could be some issues, and then somebody, you know, there would be some, he'd have to like win some match to earn another shot or something. But they just went with Skrull, winning straight away basically, just kind of using shenanigans. It makes sense.
He couldn't find the freaking powder.
Yeah. It makes sense altogether. You know, I want to see them again. I like their match. I thought it was just a little too long at the end of the Supercard show, but it wasn't that there was anything wrong with the match itself. It was in terms of the show. So, yeah, no, that was good. That was a pretty good main event. I mean, like, really for me, it was the Gresham Lethal match and the First Blood match were my two favorites. I would definitely. You have HonorClub. There's no reason not to check it out. I mean, listen. At this point, if you are interested in Ring of Honor, I don't think there's a reason why you shouldn't have HonorClub. I don't get paid to say that. It's just like if before you would have to pay $15.
It's $120, if even $116 or something for the year. Like, if they have one show on demand a month, that's it. And you know, you're going to get 4 or 5 big pay-per-views, and then you know, it seems like they're going to put on a whole bunch of their just video on demand stuff. And
dude, next month,
that's awesome.
It's Global Wars, 4 days straight. It's like Wednesday, Friday, or not 4 days. I think sometimes they do Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, I'm going to die because I don't know how I can cover 4 shows in 5 days. Like, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do that and keep my marriage.
These, you know, and these were shows that, you know, you would buy the Saturday night usually. Like, that would be the pay-per-view. And then the other 3 would really just be on demand.
And it would be $45.
Right. You know,
if you want to buy those.
Right. So $45 to buy the 4 shows. Now it's $10 for the month. You do the math. And really, stuff gets fixed, and I have, you know, total confidence that it will. There's a real corporation behind them. They know what they're doing, and you know they'll be fine. But yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, and speaking of can't wait, I can't wait till the greatest Royal Rumble. I mean,
this is really, this is what the network is all about. You know, these like house shows that are on the network, and this is anything but a house show. This is like WrestleMania.
This is crazy. Listen to this card. All right. I mean, I don't know if you. I'm just gonna read it and then we can like touch on it.
Right.
But you have Undertaker versus Rusev in a casket match. You have The Bar versus Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt for the Raw Tag Team Championships. John Cena versus Triple H. You have the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Miz versus Rollins versus Samoa Joe in a ladder match.
Versus Balor.
I'm sorry, versus Balor.
I believe they also added Bobby Lashley.
Did they? Okay, that I didn't see. That's terrible. But whatever. For the Intercontinental Championship, Hardy versus Mahal. Do you think? Is it?
No, he's on Raw.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I mean, I guess the Miz could bring IC, but I don't think that happens. But continue.
Right. Just want to make sure that the WWE realizes they're not in India and they don't have Mahal win because they think it's going to get a pop. Then Lesnar versus Reigns in a steel cage match for the Universal Championship. It's Styles versus Nakamura for the WWE Championship. And then a 50-man battle royal. Let's erase Alberto Del Rio. He will not be the winner of the largest Royal Rumble ever.
Yep.
Smart.
And I mean, right, smart on that. And like, this is the Royal Rumble in April. I don't know if they're going to give the winner a title shot or what. You got to figure they're getting something from this. It'll be interesting to see what exactly they do. But yeah, this show is insane. I don't know. It's going to be absolutely crazy. It's a Friday at noon, which is just, I mean, if you're working, that's really unfortunate, as I am. But it doesn't really matter because I'll be home in 2 hours and I'll watch the show at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, you just got to go on social media. Like, I don't want to look at anything. I don't want to talk. I don't know. I'm scared to turn the radio on the way home from work.
Yeah, I always love that when it's like, oh yeah, this random thing right now is just going to be like, oh hey, did you know that this happened?
My luck, I put on ESPN, and I put on ESPN, Michael K. Show, and then like Rosenberg.
Avoid, like ESPN.
Yeah, Rosenberg
like
just comes
that.
on. He goes, "Did you guys see that show?"
We're associated with WWE.
No, not at all. And it's going to be quite a night. I mean, that could be a great day considering you have the greatest Royal Rumble, and then you have the Avengers movie coming out the same day. I mean, what? That could be an amazing day. You get to watch wrestling. You get to watch a WrestleMania quality, definitely like a WrestleMania 11 quality pay-per-view. All right, during
this
the
is a
afternoon.
WrestleMania anything quality pay-per-view.
All right, so let's go for our picks. Undertaker versus Rusev casket match.
Yeah, rest in peace, Rusev.
Yeah. The Bar versus Hardy and Wyatt.
Although, imagine Rusev wins. Like, that's how Taker just goes away for a little while, and Rusev wins.
Anything can happen on Rusev Day. I think it's going to be
Saudi
Taker.
Arabia?
I don't think
I'm just going to go Rusev just because.
Saudi Arabia's got it. Like, they're paying the WWE to come there. There's like a deal. There's no way.
Saudi Arabia's safe. Like, I'm actually a little worried.
Well, I mean, I don't want to make this political, but did you notice?
I'm just asking the question.
Well, did you notice something that's not happening at all on this card?
No.
Women's matches.
The United States. Oh, right.
They can't wrestle.
Right.
So it's
right. Well, I mean, forget about that. Whatever. Like, I understand, that element, but is it like safe?
I think it is.
I don't know. Let's hope so.
It's not going to be safe for Rusev though, because Undertaker's going to put him in the casket.
Well,
that was
I'll
terrible.
Just say Rusev for the sake of it. That's going to be a lot of fun to see Taker in the ring with Rusev.
Yeah, but he's got
in a casket match. That's a lot of fun.
Like, first time in Saudi Arabia or whatever. Like, the Undertaker's gonna lose a casket match. Come on.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm enjoying Rusev Day. I actually have my Rusev Day shirt on.
Nice.
I can't not pick Rusev on Rusev Day.
All right.
That's sacrilegious.
Fine.
You just went against everything.
So then we have the Bar versus Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt for the Raw Tag Team Championship. I mean, with the Bar on SmackDown.
Yes. I mean, either way, this was Hardy and Wyatt's match to win.
Yeah, but
with the Bar on SmackDown. Like, of course, don't quote me on this, guys, but I'm pretty positive that they're not going to bring the Raw Tag Team Championships to SmackDown. Just a hunch. Just a hunch.
It's so. I mean, I guess there's no way around it if you don't want to do any more shake-up stuff after the event. But it is like when that happens, it's got to be like, okay, well, obviously.
Right, and I'm fine with it. I enjoyed Hardy and Wyatt's finishing move on Raw. It's funny because, like, pretty much randomly all throughout that day, I was like, oh, you know, if Hardy and Wyatt are advancing in this tournament, then they need a finishing move because Wyatt just throwing the guy into Hardy is really dumb.
Yeah.
And then they got one. So I enjoyed that. That was good. I thought the bar sold it well in commentary. Like, what the hell was that? So, you know, I look forward to that. I'm looking forward to Hardy and Wyatt being tag champs. And I wouldn't mind them facing Drew and Dolph after that. That would be pretty cool.
Agreed. Then we have the Bludgeon Brother. Oh, wait, sorry. John Cena versus Triple H.
Which is just,
I mean,
crazy.
Cena wins, right? I mean, this is like make the crowd happy show. It's gotta be.
Maybe they hate John Cena now. I don't know. Saudi Arabia, women can't wrestle. They probably think he did the right thing.
There's no way I see Cena losing. I can't see that.
No, you can't see Cena, so how could you see him lose?
Thank you. I really do appreciate that. So we both say Cena?
Yeah, sure. What the hell?
All right. Bludgeon Brothers versus Usos.
Actually, just for all our female listeners, I don't know, half of you, I'll pick Triple H.
All right. The Bludgeon Brothers. So I liked what they did on SmackDown. You know, they're obviously turning the Usos' face with Naomi coming out, trying to stop the Bludgeon Brothers from attacking her husband with fucking giant sledgehammers.
And I like that, like, Rowan was still crazy and Harper had to be like, yo, all right, let's go.
So this can't, like, that can't play out there. And because of that, I think Bludgeon Brothers retain, and then it happens. It plays out later on.
Yeah, Bludgeon Brothers are retaining either way. This is just a way to get the Usos guaranteed babyface. I'm really enjoying the Bludgeon Brothers right now. I love what they've been doing. I'm liking the gimmick. It's been different.
So the next match is Miz versus Rollins versus Balor versus Joe, and now you said Lashley for the IC title.
I think, you know, I saw somewhere that it said he was advertised, but maybe that was old or something not exactly correct. But yeah, so 4 or 5 guys in this ladder match. I
don't see a title change. I see Rollins retaining.
No. Yeah, I mean, it's either Rollins or Finn, in my opinion. I'm with you. I don't see Rollins losing, but if he does, I don't mind Finn being the choice.
Then Hardy retains over Mahal, I would assume.
Clearly.
Then I don't think we even need to talk about that much. Lesnar versus Reigns in the ladder in the cage. Man, there's a part of me that sees Reigns winning by reaching the floor first.
Yeah, after WrestleMania, I don't want to see him get the win. I don't know if they go that route. I kind of just want to see Brock win and Braun throwing him somewhere down the line.
Me too, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. God damn it.
Just like Roman is so damaged right now, man.
Just turn full heel.
Well, yeah, but I don't think that happens. So
then AJ versus Knock. Again, I don't see a title change here. I see some sort of shenanigan, maybe DQ finish. It's not going to be your main event. I think you could do a DQ finish here.
This isn't going to be a main event, but I don't know. You could just see another Nakamura low blow and stuff to build his heel character. I don't know if there's any need for a change, but it's not out of the question, I don't think.
Fair. And then the 50-man Battle Royal.
Royal Rumble?
Royal Rumble. We don't know who's in it, really. Except everyone, I assume.
Oh yeah, I mean they announced a bunch of names. Great Khali is. Does WWE think they're in India? I'm not really sure. But yeah,
no comment.
Great Khali. There's a bunch of guys.
Rey Mysterio is supposed to be there. Chris Jericho.
Right, Mysterio, Jericho. Mark Henry's going to be there. I'm not sure if he's going to be in the match or not.
Does who win matter?
Well, that's what we don't know yet, right? We don't know if there's any stipulation on the win. So if someone's getting a title shot or something along those lines, then it matters. But if it's just congratulations, you won this Royal Rumble that we had, then no.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know, again, it really depends because you could have someone like Angle win just because, or you could have someone like Braun win to get a title shot.
Yeah, it really depends on what they're going to do in the go-home episodes next week and if they announce anything, because this literally could just be Rey Mysterio could win it just because it'll be fun, right?
No, I'm going to say that Braun is winning this, and whether it's official or not official, he's going to use it to get Brock.
All right.
Either he says, I got the title shot, or, you know, he says, hey, I won this Royal Rumble. I'm the most dominant man in the company. Give me Brock.
All right. So I'm gonna say that Almost wins.
What?
And uses it. Not only do they have a larger Royal Rumble, but you have Almost be the one who replaces Del
So you think
Rio.
they're going to leave Saudi Arabia angry?
No, because you'll have Brock and Lesnar as the main.
No, you will not have
Brock and Reigns as the...
The show is called The Greatest Royal Rumble. You think Brock Roman is the main?
All right, fine. So if the Royal Rumble, I guess Braun...
I think Braun wins. I think it just sets up perfectly, I think. The crowd goes crazy. They enjoy the moment. You have Braun be the man. I don't know. It just makes so much sense.
I wonder if Nicholas is in it. No. It's during the day. He can't be. He's got school.
That would be great. It's also in Saudi Arabia, so I don't think he's flying his kid out there.
It'd be amazing, though. All right, well, I'm looking forward to it.
Still in the fourth grade.
I'm probably more excited about this card than I am about...
It's tough because like they were promoting this before WrestleMania, you know, and it's kind of like, oh man, I can't wait for that show.
Yeah, I'm more excited about this than I'm probably going to be about most of the rest of the pay-per-views for the rest of the year.
I wouldn't go that far, but this is a really cool show.
All right, well, anything else?
No, I believe that is it.
All right, so I just want to remind you guys, you can send us emails, trivia, your comments. What do you think about what's going to happen at the Greatest Royal Rumble? You can send us emails to runningwildpodcast@gmail.com, or you can follow us on Twitter at runningwildlwos. You can follow us on Facebook at Running Wild on Facebook, and you can follow me at Rich_LACONI on Twitter. Same on Facebook. And you can follow my wrestling coverage over at PW Ponderings and ROHworld.com. So thank you guys for joining us. As always, please rate, review, and subscribe. Leave us some feedback. We really appreciate it. And until next time, you guys have been listening to the podcast that is just too sweet.
For Rich and Runz, this is the host of Ring of Honor Wrestling, Ian Riccaboni, signing off. Be sure to join them next week for another episode of the Running Wild Podcast.